So I wanted to talk about, I had gotten a couple questions from you guys last week, which was very helpful, thank you, because I knew a little bit what to talk about. And I chose the strategy question because I think that's where we start. And I want you to first know that we believe that small businesses are the revival of our country. Small businesses or regions that you man yourself don't have sales staffs that are generating all these leads for you. So wouldn't it be nice to take some of that guesswork out of it? Marketing and branding strategically does that for you. You can plan your marketing and you can build its momentum through strategic creation. And through strategic creation establishes a formula that you can adapt to future ideas, and it defines why you are different and a known demand from your customers. How do you figure out strategy and how do you talk about your business? You ask questions, you answer them, and then you analyze those answers. At that point, you know who your audience is, what they're looking for, and how they need it delivered. Based on the answers, we create strategies through strong art, color, imagery, great copywriting, and digital function on your web and your social sites. We do it through brochures, websites, bios, your business card, your logo, your Google ranking tools, and your social media spots. So with this, your service and your product are delivered clearly in your customers' words and at the tone that they're ready to buy. It's a lot easier to hit a target that isn't moving. And regarding return on investment, sure, I know that magic 8-ball on your desk is paid off, but the marketing agency can deliver better fortunes. So that's what strategy is in a nutshell. And what I'd like to do, I actually asked Jeff to help me because Jeff does really in-depth what I brush the surface with. We concentrate more on the strategies worked into tools. Jeffrey actually just works on the strategies and the questions that he asks you. So I wanted Jeffrey to help me with some questions. That's something that's called a sales funnel.
Yeah, this is Michelle told me about what you did, and I said, "Well, you hit all the answers along the way of a classic kind of a sales funnel." And this triangle, I couldn't draw a funnel, I drew a triangle, and the I don't want to use clip art, but and what you do is you narrow down the decision process to the purchase. And Michelle told me about this case. I said, "Well, you hit all the targets along the way." The first thing you put your potential customers into this funnel, and you have to make them aware of what you do, the product category you're in, and after that, the brand that you're aware of your brand. So the first thing you need to do, and I should tell you, you want to figure out who's going to come out the bottom before you put them in the top. Otherwise, you're having a brain fart or a distraction, whatever you guys call it. Okay, you're just having off on a tangent. So the first thing you need to figure out is who do you want? Okay, who has the need, who has the demand for your product? You can all answer these questions about your own business, and who is potentially most profitable. And then, so Michelle answered that. So Michelle, tell us how you answered that one.
So what I'd like to do is we're going to use a case study, one of our customers. So I'm sorry, what was?
Go ahead. How did you figure out who you wanted for your? Tell them what your case study is, and tell them how you figured out who you wanted.
Okay, our case study is it's an installer of foam insulation. They're located in northern New York. Their customers, there was a few to actually pick from. It was either commercial or residential. We were looking at newer homes, newer construction, newer commercial construction, and also older homes. It seemed like with the demographic and the region that they were targeting, that it was the older homes that were turning over, not so much turning over, I'm sorry, I'm using one of your terms, but people were staying in their homes. Just because they couldn't afford to move to other homes, or even new buyers were buying older homes and fixing them up because it was a more economical solution. So with that, we decided that we could get the most volume out of older home buyers. So that was how we ended up.
So that's your target audience.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have to figure out how do I find them. Okay. So you had a great idea how to find them. Tell us how you find them.
Okay. we actually went to a home show, was one of the first things that they did. We knew that the traffic was definitely new buyers or people that want to renovate their homes. It was in a local gym, which was very comfortable. We also used signage, and it was a two-part signage where they were at a house, and the first sign said, "Your neighbor is now saving more on their heating bills." The second sign said, "And here's how to get it. This is the installer, and here's how to find more information on our website and how to reach us." We also used the same campaign on grocery store flyers. It's "Your neighbor is saving more on your heating bills," but there was a second part to the campaign. It's easy to finance. The convenience factor is a big deal in advertising. What they had done was teamed up with a bank, and they were able to finance through a 10-year loan that they could attach right through their bill. So that $50 on an average on their bill increase was actually negated by the more than $50 that they were saving on their heating bill at this point. But it was the convenience factor, and it was a really good avenue for us.
So now you've poured all these people into your funnel, right? You made them all aware, and now they have to consider your brand, right? Now, as a rule of thumb, people only consider 3 brands. Okay, life is just too short to go test drive every car, to taste every cola, to make it more relevant, to interview every insurance broker, every financial planner, or meet every contractor. So people usually come down on the look at these 3 people. So how did you get yourself into that consideration set?
Okay, we had a little bit of a pull from his father. His father had had a 50-year-old construction company, also did carpentry. So his clients were already residences. His company did very well, and he actually was an upstanding member of the community. He was a member of the Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary Club, that sort of thing. And his son actually steps very well into his footsteps. He's a very good manager. What they were building from their business, now they're about 3 years old now, was service. He always had somebody at the office answering the phones that was very educated on the supply, what the product was, how they delivered it. He also went back out to the clients months later, and he asked to see their energy bills. And he's now using a couple of them for testimonials, but it's definitely, they knew that what they were doing was working, and they were checking themselves.
So what you've got now is you've got the customers looking at these different things, and this is where the heavy lifting of strategy comes in, is to dissect the consumer decision process. How do people make decisions? And they usually look at the benefits, and that's where we kind of focus is on, okay, well, my product does this, my product does that, but there are also risks involved. Okay? There are all kinds of different risks involved. There's a risk of having too much insurance, right? I can lose the money if I've got more, or I don't get an accident, I lose the money, right? So you have to figure out what are the benefits and the risks of buying my product, and I think Michelle answered that very well, and balancing that out, leading to a purchase.
Okay, so one of our obstacles that we had with these guys, which I'm going to pass that, so pass this around. They were really young. Iris, can you share that with them? We had a couple buyers that we had interviewed after they had come to their house, and we asked them what some of the one of the things that was an obstacle for them, why they were hesitating on maybe purchasing them. They were young, they were in their 20s. Although they had given so much of their time to make up for all those years that they didn't have experience. I felt like they had at least 7 years of experience in the 3 years, because they just went to every seminar, they did every qualification to get up on this. So it ended up that we put them front and center on top of the website, if you look at where the buttons are, which is one of the pinpoints of a website. And in those bios, we wrote them as interviews, where you go in and we had asked Brian a few technical questions. We had gotten some feedback from some other clients, things they wanted to know, and we asked the guys to answer them. And straight off the bat, you saw what they knew and how knowledgeable they were, and there was no question about, we only have 3 years in the experience. Also, what we also did for outreach was we had them go out, and instead of just advertise, they took a page in the Penny Saver or in the local paper, and they wrote 10 tips on how to find drafts in your house, making them an expert in the field, not just advertising like everyone else. So I think this is Yeah, this is one example of a case study. You know, we have customers that span all different industries, and if you guys want to know more, that's something close to your industry, let's do a one-on-one, and you know, I'll help you out with your strategies. But you know, marketing, there's tons of marketing companies out there, and most of them just throw products at you, and if it's a pretty piece of art and a pretty brochure, you think it's fine. But really, you know, as you walk through that brochure, is it leading you down that you're going to actually make that sell? Are they asking the questions? Are they speaking to you the way that you feel comfortable? You know, you have to know your target market, and targeting everyone, sending out that Val pack to 100,000 people around zip codes. You're throwing a dart in it, you know. Know your focus, and I know I tell you guys all the time, when you stand up for your 60 seconds, say one thing, and say it well, because even the way that you say it shows us that you guys are detailed in that one thing, and we'll know when you say something else that you use the same detail-oriented knowledge to broadcast that also. So we provide strategic consulting through beautifully developed and designed branding and marketing tools. We are Gunn Multimedia Partners, a branding and marketing 10-year-old agency that's servicing Westchester, New York, some of California and Florida. For businesses and their brands, we deliver the unique opportunity to create profitable and fulfilling futures through inspiring concepts. So thank you.
Thank you.